Hi, and welcome to the Financial Fox, finance, investment, and crypto with a twist. I'm your host, Steffy B. I'm the founder of PR company Cassiope Services, and every week I bring to you my favorite conversation with investment experts, market disruptors, mover and shakers, and the coolest project in crypto. Today, I'm going to share with you a very interesting conversation I had about the future of AI with Marcello Mari, CEO of SingularityDAO, the new DeFi arm of SingularityNet. So we are going to find out what's happened when artificial intelligence is meeting DeFi and what is actually the impact that can have on financial market. It's a very interesting interview, and I'm sure you're going to learn a lot like I did. So let's get straight into it. Hi, Marcello. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Stefania. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm so excited to have a chat with you about artificial intelligence and financial market because, it's such an interesting evolution that is happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so much going on, new projects coming up every minute, no ecosystem growing. It's definitely the most interesting space to be in technology right now.
Fantastic. So maybe let's start with you telling us about SingularityDAO, what it is and how it works.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So SingularityDAO spun out of SingularityNet, which is a company that has been existing since 2017. So one of the most established crypto company, the pioneer in merging artificial intelligence and blockchain. And SingularityNet is now becoming an ecosystem of companies with different verticals and industries. And the first one that we decided to tackle is decentralized finance. So since 2020, the end of 2020, I became the CEO of SingularityDAO, which is a project that merged artificial intelligence with decentralized finance. We are, of course, a DAO, so we have a high participation from our community in the decision-making process. But the product that we are building are artificial intelligence tools that anybody can use in order to access decentralized finance. So I'll give you an example, right? So if you want to participate to a hedge fund, either you have a high spending capacity or most of the time the doors are closed. We're going to give access to anybody to hedge funds like tools to access the crypto economy. So a lot going on, and we have several tools like our Launchpad. We have bridges to different ecosystem. We have Dynaset that we are launching in December, which is our most exciting product that I would love to tell you about. So a lot going on.
Okay, so tell me how decentralized AI works in financial market.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. So let's do a step back, because I think it's very interesting also to understand like to what capacity SingularityNet works on AI. So SingularityNet was founded by Ben Gortzel, who devoted his life to the research of artificial general intelligence. So artificial general intelligence is opposed to narrow artificial intelligence. So if you take the current AI and you do, for example, image recognition, that AI is only good in doing image recognition or facial recognition or text analysis and so on. So it doesn't really work like a human brain, right? I mean, your brain, you have your eyes that are good at seeing things and your ears that are good at hearing things. And then your brain is really good to analyze all of these patterns all together and create thoughts, right? So SingularityNet is trying to build an AGI that thinks exactly like a human brain, and it does so with a variety of different algorithms that can talk to each other and rate each other just like your brain will do, and it uses the blockchain to do so. So now going back to your question, how can we apply this to to decentralized finance. So if you look at the world of decentralized finance right now, we still lack of some of the basic tools and infrastructures that in traditional finance have been used for many years, and artificial intelligence is one of those. So if you think of the history of artificial intelligence, the first use has been for military, the second use probably for marketing, but the third historical use back in the 80s, sorry, has been in traditional finance, right? So in traditional market, we have big amount of data to analyze, and artificial intelligence can help analyzing all of this data and help traders to make more informed decisions, right? In blockchain and in crypto, we have many more data than traditional finance. We have huge amount of data, and artificial intelligence can help analyzing all of this data. And this translates into signals for traders to use in order to make better trades. So it can help with price prediction. It can help with sentiment analysis. It can help with portfolio tracking so that you know where money are flowing from which part of the world to which project, etc. So there's a lot that the AI can see that the human eye cannot see because our brain has, of course, limited data analytics capacity. So this is what the centralized AI can be used for. But what we are doing at SingularityDAO is very much like allowing anybody to access these tools. So take traditional finance. If you want to access Bloomberg, like who accesses Bloomberg? Big institutions, right? So what do we do? So we have these dynasets, which are like hedge fund style of basket of tokens. Imagine that you have a dynaset containing the best DeFi projects, or a dynaset containing the best ecosystem, or a dynaset containing the best projects on Avalanche, for example. And this dynaset is actually built on the Avalanche protocol, which is incredible, right? So any user can just buy into these dynasets, and our traders will rebalance these tokens inside each dynaset based on the signal they receive from the artificial intelligence, right? From very sophisticated price prediction, very sophisticated sentiment analysis, and or portfolio tracking. So we give our traders this tool. Users can just purchase, add liquidity into these dynasets, and automatically will be benefit from the experience of hedge fund traders that we have in our team, supported by artificial intelligence. So this is for your grandma to access the crypto economy, right? Or the everyday user, or my cousin who's 16 years old. If you are an institutional trader, right? Or if you are a crypto fund and you don't have access to artificial intelligence tool, then we at SingularityDAO, we can give you access to this tool, subscription based in that case, and you can use it to inform your traders.
So basically, traders and investors can already come on your platform and use those tools, right?
No, not as yet. In a couple of weeks, we're launching our first closed beta, in which we're onboarding influencers, part of the community, investors that want to help us building a better product. We gave ourselves 2 or 3 months to test it in private beta before being able to open it to the public.
Okay, I don't want to be too technical. However, I would like to understand how the agents in your network, which are powered by AI, because instead of having human making decision, you have this agent, right? How do they communicate? How do they send signals?
Okay, so for now, for the foreseeable future, there is not actual way that we can remove the human element from trading. So humans will always be there to make sure that AI is not going to make stupid decisions, right? Because it can be that the AI doesn't send the correct signals because maybe the data are corrupt, and crypto being such a nascent industry, the quality of data is not always the best. So for the foreseeable future, we will always have humans in the equation. The different agents, it depends on the technique that we are looking at. For example, take neural language processing, right? So in neural language processing, we take a variety of information sources. There can be Telegram communities, there can be the media, there can be Twitter, there can be Discord, right? And we analyze all of this language, right? So the NLP analyzes all of this language and see what the mood is in regards to some cryptocurrencies. And then we find the correlation between the mood in specific communities and cryptocurrencies and the price fluctuation. So if there is a correlation between, let's say, positive sentiment about Ripple and the increase in price in Ripple, that is a strong signal. So next time that this happens, we know that, you know, when people start saying good things about Ripple, then the price is likely to go up in a certain time frame, right? Or we might even find, as we find in the past, that actually even when people start FUDing in Telegram communities, that doesn't really correlate with poor price performance. So it's a lot of data that can be analyzed. So this is natural language processing. Imagine that it goes on a dashboard, right? And you put it here. On the other side, you have algorithms that can try to predict the price of cryptocurrencies based on timestamp analysis. So the one that is called quantitative analysis. So we have a number of crypto traders and AI engineers in our team that are currently working in building this big data infrastructure to make sure that the quality of data is high, to make sure that the quality of signals is high. And based on historical data, they can tell you whether a cryptocurrency is likely to go up or down. So a human trader will look at this data and will be like, okay, the price of Ripple is likely to increase because of all these different signals.
On this topic, can you explain how SingularityDAO is going to manage token baskets using AI?
Yeah, so as I said before, so imagine that you have a basket containing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and US dollar, right? So our traders, they create trading strategies that we actually been back testing for the past few months, and anybody can go on our blog and see the back testing results of our trading strategies. And based on these strategies, they receive signals from the AI on actually how to create the strategy itself. So based on that, they're able to see which coins are performing the best and which coins they should actually be removed from the basket, for example, which coin to overweight and which ones to underweight within the same basket. So yeah, ultimately they use AI to make better decision and to rebalance each basket of tokens. So let's say that you have the top 5 best performer in the Cardano ecosystem, for example, right? So and you pick 5 tokens. So obviously the 5 tokens are going to change continuously because you have the 5 best and not always be the 5 best. So whenever one outperforms, we can add another one, and so on and so forth. And if one performs better or is due to perform better in the next couple of months or couple of weeks, we can add more of it to the basket. And the user doesn't have to worry about anything at all because, you know, they just add liquidity. We're non-custodial, so users remain, you know, in charge of their funds connected to MetaMask. So we are not like an exchange that we take custody of your funds. So there is no way that we can run away, or it's all decentralized.
Okay, so liquidity is always an issue in financial market. So tell me a bit, how do you create what you call a smart liquidity?
So it happens, and it happened to us as well, that if you are a high quality project, you have maybe a great team, you have great technology, you have a great idea, but for some reason you don't get the right exposure because maybe you sit in page 3 or 4 of CoinMarketCap. So the markets tend to ignore you, you're not seen, and you really struggle to get out there. So we as SingularityDAO, we can spot, based on our network relationship and knowledge of the ecosystem, which of these projects are actually promising and high performing. So we establish relationship with these with these projects, and we include their tokens into our dynasets. So by being included in our dynasets, they naturally get more exposure to our community and to our users. They can then add liquidity in our basket, therefore bring liquidity to these projects. So this is how liquidity is smart, because our AI can actually support this decision making, can actually make sure that these high performing and high quality tokens are seen by the market if included in these dynasets. So this is how we create smart liquidity.
Fantastic. So it's not always time to the trader to try to find out which is the most trendy, which is the best, most traded project, but you can actually provide with those information. Yeah, that's really good.
And you know what? There is also like another element that is really cool, because this is something that we recently introduced in our ecosystem. So SingularityNet is a thriving community. It's a very large community, and is devoting a large chunk of its treasury, which I think accounts for about $30 million, to a project called Deep Funding. So Deep Funding is a fund where anybody from the community can apply in order to get grants. So let's say that you have a cool idea for a new AI-powered media, let's say, right? You send your proposal. If the committee approve your proposal, then you get the initial seed funding. If the project grows and meets some KPIs, then we can launch it through the SingularityDAO launchpad and bring it to our community to get the first round of funding. And once they get the first round of funding, they can be accounted for $2, $3, $4, $5 million, who knows. Then we can support it with our technology, with our expertise, with our connection, and immediately include them within our dynaset. So we create a virtuous system, starting from the community, launch through the launchpad, and accelerate it through launchpad. So not just we go out and find new projects, a promising project, existing project in the market, but we also help new projects to launch and get more visibility and liquidity from the market.
Fantastic. So talking about community, let's analyze a bit the governance of SingularityDAO. So who decide what and how?
That's a very cool question. So we have a white paper, a very detailed white paper that details our progressive decentralization process that will happen within the next 5 years. Do you see there's a lot of DAOs or in the market, or companies with DAO in their name. However, full decentralization is still quite utopia and difficult to achieve. Why is it difficult to achieve? Because it requires a lot of education and participation by the community. So we have a plan over 5 years to achieve a level of education that is high enough for our community to participate to as many decisions as possible until it fully becomes a decentralized autonomous organization. So for example, now we're going to ask our communities, which stable coin should we adopt in our dynasets? Because of course, there's a lot of rumors around Tether. So shall we use Tether? Shall we use DAI? Shall we use USDC? Shall we use TUSD? So TUSD. So that's a lot going on, and we're going to involve the community from day zero, basically. However, the SingularityDAO executive board will maintain a veto power, especially for the first few years, until we don't reach the level of maturity for the DAO to be able to make independent decisions. But, over the years, users, our community will be able to create proposals, to adopt for proposal. We have a threshold to meet, and then this threshold will decrease over the years. So, we hope that in 5 years, the DAO will become fully independent.
Fantastic. Okay, last question is more an opportunity for you to launch a message to your community and to anybody interested in the space. What do you have to say?
Well, that, my message is always the same. I want as many people as possible to participate, because a DAO can only be a DAO if people participate and educate themselves. So there is a great deal of information out in the internet, right? So I invite people to educate themselves on DeFi, on blockchain or crypto, to not just see the speculative element of cryptocurrency, but understand the philosophy that goes behind it, to come to our community and discuss with our admins, we discuss with the other users on, how to make better financial decision with crypto and with the support of AI. So I ask people to participate, come to our Telegram group, ask us questions, send us proposals, send us ideas, because we have a big community machine that can analyze all of these ideas and can take in an account. So we want to become as participative as possible. So come and participate.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Marcello.
Thank you so much, Stefania.
All right. So we have learned a lot of things. We are seeing how financial markets are changing. We are seeing the opportunity that AI and blockchain are bringing to even traders, which is quite cool. So if you have any question or any comment or any feedback, so please do get in touch with me at steffy@financialfox.news or send me a DM on Twitter. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure that you click the subscribe button and also subscribe to our podcast, because we have also all our episodes are available on audio. And don't forget to follow us on social media to stay up to date with our news and interviews. I will see you next time.